why things seem to be going worse before they get better, before you get your manifestation. Why, when you think like, okay, I have impressed my subconscious mind, I'm going towards this manifestation, this is the manifestation I want, but in the 3D world you see the opposite, you see the contrary, you see everything going wrong and in the opposite direction of what you want. We'll discuss about all these topics in this video, and in this video I will explain how to manage these things when they do happen, and what is the best strategy for manifesting when things do seem to go wrong or things do seem to go sideways and we have nowhere else to go. So my name is Rohit. I've been studying about manifesting for years now, and my goal with this channel is to simplify manifesting so people can manifest their dream health, dream life, the dream house, whatever they desire with the power of their imagination. So this has been a situation, and for privacy's sake I will not use their real name. One of my clients, so she had this situation, like she had this assumption, she's going through a medical problem and things do seem to get better, but things do seem to get worse. And so she's always thinking about it. She's like, why do things always seem to go bad before they get worse? And after coaching her for a while, I realized that she has an assumption, especially about medical situations. In her mind, she has this assumption that things do seem to get worse before they get better. So the very first thing is you need to really figure out, do you have an assumption, or do you believe in this situation where things always have to go bad for it and then they become better? So that will actually play out in your healing process or in your manifestation process. It is bound to play out because that is an assumption. That assumption is part of you and your subconscious, and that is bound to play out. So if you have an assumption, let's say you have a lower back pain problem and you are going to therapy, you're doing whatever exercises, you're learning yoga, maybe you're doing some other exercises, whatever exercise you're doing, but at the same time you have this deep-seated assumption in your mind that things are going to get worse before they get better. Guess what will happen? And then I will get better. I am better. But at the same time you're able to visualize yourself being better, or you're able to imagine yourself hearing or somebody telling you that you are better, and you are able to live in the end, as Neville Goddard calls it, like living in the end. And you are able to do that, but at the same time you have this deep-seated assumption that, okay, things are going to get worse, my back pain is going to get worse before it gets better. And I also made this mistake in the past when I did not truly understand manifesting, that things actually got worse. The back pain became even worse, and then through yoga, to other exercises, and through all natural means, it has been minimized. It's almost gone. So if you have this situation in your mind, if you have this assumption, then that is going to play out in the 3D world. So that's one thing. And so the one thing you can do is also, whatever your end goal is, the end you want to live in, you need to figure out 2 or 3 negative assumptions around that, right? For example, for healing your back, if you have this assumption, oh, I have to do a ton of yoga exercises, or I have to go to a lot of therapy sessions, or it is going to get worse before it gets better. These are all 3 of them are not very positive assumptions. So instead you can have other assumption is like, oh, I will just have to do very little yoga. I have to go to just a few therapy sessions, and my health is only going to get better and better. So if you have these assumptions, these are very supportive to your end goal, which is your back being healed. So when you have these supportive assumptions, it will take you to your end. There's nothing else which can stop you. You are going to get your end, and that will become your reality. So that's what I wanted to share in this video. So this is one thing you must do, is find out what your end is and try to figure out which are the negative assumptions around it. Sometimes it's very hard to do alone. So that's why I highly recommend going to a coach or a therapist or a counselor. Maybe they can help you really look at your negative assumptions, your negative beliefs. But you can also do it yourself. Maybe talk to a friend or loved one and let them help you figure out your negative assumptions in your life. So what is the strategy? The strategy is whatever the end goal is, try to find out 3 or 4 negative assumptions, beliefs, or memories around that end goal and flip them. Simply flip them to a positive. Okay, that's one strategy. And second thing, which is the most, I find the most challenging with a lot of clients, they find it really challenging, is to stay neutral when negative things are going in their life. For example, this is a very true story about another manifester and their client, where that client wanted to manifest a dream job. Okay, and this client wanted to manifest a dream job, but at the same time they had this fear, or they felt like they're not good enough, or they felt like you know, they are going to be found out, or they felt like they're not qualified enough, or they think they're not ready yet, or they felt like they have to learn more, they need to do more. Despite having all these negative assumptions, they were still able to imagine getting to the end, and they got the job. So I'm telling you, if you visualize properly, if you see your end properly, despite having negative assumptions or negative beliefs, they still got the job. And so people might say, do I need to do manifestation perfectly? Do I have to visualize, script, or do inner conversations or revision, whatever technique you use? Do I have to use these techniques perfectly? And no. Even if you're able to impress it like 50%, it's hard to put numbers on this percentage on these things. Let's say you feel like you did a very okay job. You were able to impress 50-60%. Even that has a very high likelihood of getting impressed and becoming a reality. Okay, so even after having all these negative assumptions, that person was able to get the job. Okay, but it wasn't an easy ride. There who had the interview, they didn't get back to them for a couple of weeks, and then they got nervous and they're like, oh, I'm going to lose my job. I feel like I'm not qualified enough. So they started reading a bunch. They started taking more courses. They're like, okay, I need to prove to the next interview that I will get the job, and they started preparing for the next interview, and they learned a bunch. They bought a bunch of courses. They were speaking to all the people in that field, learning from all the experts, and then the second interview happened, and they're like, okay, I was more prepared. And guess what happened? The first interview came through, and it was that whoever was the person who was taking the interview, something happened in their team. Somebody was on leave or somebody got sick, something, so the thing got delayed for a couple of weeks, but they got their end. But at the same time, when that thing was coming, it feels like everything was going bad. It feels like everything was going worse. I'm not getting any interview calls. They are not even replying to my emails, and the person was just being negative. The person was reacting negatively, and guess what happened? It kind of delayed their manifestation, or it was tumultuous. It wasn't like a smooth ride. It was up and down, up and down. So even if we do have in 3D world, even if we do have things going up and down, the best thing we can do is to learn to stay calm, is to accept the situation. It's like, okay, if I don't get a job, okay, it's okay. I can get another one. Okay, if this dream job doesn't come through, it's not the only company that's going to give me a dream job. There might be another dream job which I can get. You accept the situation, and you don't try to fight it, and you don't try to resist it. You don't try to react negatively to it, and you just accept it. Stay in the end. If you feel negative emotions, if you feel like crying, if you feel angry, upset, it's okay to feel those emotions. Just sit with it. If you want to express those emotions, express it. There's nothing wrong with it. But that's one of the best ways to deal with this. Totally accept the situation. And I've also made a video about this topic. I will post it in the link in the description below, whereby totally by accepting how to minimize reacting to the 3D, and I go in a lot more depth into that video. But you can simply minimize reacting to the 3D world or negative events, and so this thing where it seems like things are going negative won't really bother you, and your manifestation will come faster, smoother, in a more easier manner. And sometimes it might feel magical when that happens, because you will be like, wow, all I had to do was drop resistance. All I had to do was just accept it, right? Let go and that situation, and then it came. So I hope you got great value out of this video. Give it a like and thumbs up, and I will share more content like this. If you have had just some similar experience, please post in the comment section below, and I would love to know your thoughts. And until then, I wish you great success on your manifesting journey. Share this video, give it a like, and hit the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.